Hello and welcome to this first video of a four-part series about glues, different types of glues. In this first episode I'm going to focus on super glue. I think we all know the glue, it's a great glue. It basically can glue everything, plastic to metal, metal to metal, resin. So yeah, as a modeler you probably are going to use this for metal miniatures and also for resin miniatures. For plastic miniatures you can also use this, but then you're probably better off with something easier like the plastic cement, but that's something for another episode. Personally I prefer this kind of super glue. They're the gels. I'm going to show these are older tubes. I'm afraid they're a bit clogged up, but not sure if you can see this. This is a bit thicker consistency. It's much easier to handle than the fluid type, the watery type of super glue. So if you have access to the gel type of super glue, then yeah, I think that's the better choice. Also, you want to stay away from super glues that come with a brush to apply them, because I think it's really messy and not so precise as this one. So yeah, it's a very strong glue. You can glue everything, but there are also a lot of disadvantages. First of all, there must be a very good fit between the two parts. So if there are only some points touching, like if you want to glue an irregular shape like a small rock or something to a flat base or something, that's going to be very hard with super glue. Maybe with a gel you can pull it off, but especially with the liquid type of glue, that's something very difficult. It's also very strong glue, but it's also very brittle. So what I mean by this, if for example I'm going to glue these two together, then it will be very strong. It will be very hard to pull them apart, but it will be very easy to break them apart, because the glue itself is very brittle. Therefore, if you're really gluing heavy parts together, like an arm on a miniature or something, then it's better to use a pinning technique to join the two parts. I think basically if you're working with super glues, I think the main rule is less is more. If you have a very thin layer of glue between the two parts, then that will really work a lot better than if you put on too much glue. With super glue you want to push the two parts together, hold them about 20-30 seconds and then release them, and then they should be glued together. If you put on too much glue, then yeah, it doesn't dry in this amount of time. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is the blooming. What I mean by this is the white residue. You even see this on this tip here. So if you're gluing down a painted miniature on a finished base, then yeah, keep in mind that this can occur. There's always a small risk that this blooming can occur. Again, the main tip here is less is more, so try to use a minimum of super glue when you're gluing down painted parts. To finish this off, I want to give you one tip. If you really want to, of course there's also accelerators, etc., to make the bonding go a bit quicker. But if you don't have access to accelerators, and if you really have to glue together two small bits, I'm not going to demonstrate this with these larger bits, but with small bits you really want to use an accelerator. If you don't have an accelerator at hand, then a bit of saliva can also help to speed up the process. Now you don't want to spit on this or something, just a small bit of saliva. I usually just use my finger and go over the inside of my bottom lip. So this only a bit of saliva on here, then rub it on the part. For example, this part, and then be quick. Just put on some super glue on the other part. This like this. Push it down. Yeah, it will greatly speed up the process. So these two are now already fixed. So I hope this was useful. Please, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, because the next part, which will be about plastic cement, will be put online very soon. Thank you, bye.